ideology of going to work every day is stupid, and I'm refused to be a part of this. I cannot continue to live my life like this. This is ghetto. I'm fed up. The bag is not chasing me. I'm chasing the bag. I am working, and I barely want to get up in the morning and come here. Meanwhile, there's someone who owns this company living their best life, and I'm just a slave. I'm just a number. They don't even know my name. They don't know nothing about me. They give me little pennies. Here's $45,000 for the year. Meanwhile, I have $45 billion trillion, and I'm happy, and I'm in Greece, and you're sitting there all day for 8 hours a day for the next 30 years. I can't do this, and I refuse to do this. I'm not gonna do this. This is one movement that I can't be a part of. Okay, I can't do this. Who the fuck made this up? Who made this up? Make something else up, because this is stupid.
Some seem to think that capitalism is about buying and selling things, using the market as a way of distributing goods from the folks who produce it to folks who consume it. Markets are indeed an important phenomenon, but they don't have any unique relationship with capitalism. For example, in the American slave South, a different system, a slave system. The goods produced by slaves, for example, cotton, were sold. So you had a market in cotton. They actually had a market in slaves too. So things were bought and sold all over the place. Markets existed, but you didn't have capitalism. You didn't have an employer and an employee. That's the core of capitalism. Slavery is a different system. It's a master and a slave. The master doesn't hire the slave. There's no need. The master owns the slave. In capitalism, the employer doesn't own you. May feel like that occasionally, but he doesn't legally own you. In feudalism, it's yet again different. It's a lord and a serf. A serf who kind of belongs on the land, has obligations to the lord, but the lord doesn't hire the serf, doesn't pay him a wage, but there were markets in serfdom. The unique thing about capitalism is not therefore a market. The unique thing about capitalism is the relationship in production, in how goods and services are produced. It's a relationship that is not master-slave, that is not lord-serf.
Right.
It is a very particular arrangement, employer-employee. And in that relationship lies a fundamental conflict, tension, anger, resentment. Why? Because some people are doing all the work and producing more than they get, a more that we nowadays call the surplus, the extra. And if you're a capitalist, an employer, what of course is your interest? To give the worker the least possible while getting the most out of them, because that's the biggest surplus they can get. And the more surplus they have, the more secure they'll be. In capitalism, it turns out we've got exactly the same kind of system as we had in slavery and feudalism. Why? Because the worker has to produce more, a surplus, than he gets. Just as the master got the surplus the slave produced, or the feudal lord got the surplus that the serf produced.
it says avoid and refuse to use or be victimized by the negative forces of nature called deception. The negative forces of nature use that philosophy deception in religion, business, education, government, and many other places to take advantage of the ignorant, the gullible, the superstitious, the powerless, the weak-minded, the unsuspecting, and those who are willing and ready to follow in blind belief. Refuse to be used. My name is Tar Nunet Nubahanupu. I'm a female Nunibu and a proud member of the Ethiopian race. True peace.